Mr. Trump repeatedly interrupted Mrs. Clinton. The Bipartisan Commission on Presidential Debates (CPD) plans to hold 4 debates for the 2016 U.S. presidential general election, slated for various locations around the United States in September and October 2016, 3 of them involving presidential nominees and 1 involving vice presidential nominees. The first debate was held on September 26. On last debate, the attacks turned personal as Republican Donald Trump accused his rival Hillary Clinton of not having the right temperament to be president. Meanwhile, Mrs. Clinton baited Mr. Trump by pointing out that he refuses to release his tax returns. The New York Showdown could be the most watched debate in TV history, with up to 100 million viewers. BBC. Hillary Clinton forced Donald Trump onto defense over his temperament, refusal to release his taxes and his past comments about race and women during a fiery debut presidential debate Monday, the potentially pivotal moment in a tight election campaign. Clinton, who has seen her dominance of the presidential race fade in the week since the Democratic convention, delivered a strong performance in which she demonstrated a command of policy and a sense of humor, smiling through some of Trump's strongest attacks. She delivered the best zinger of the night in response to criticism from Trump for staying off the campaign trail recently. Trump said, "I say nothing because I was able to get him to produce it." Mrs. Clinton also tried to drive a wedge between Mr. Trump and the president, whose approval ratings are on the rise. "Barack Obama is a man of great dignity, and I could tell how much it bothered him," she said of the controversy, in a clear appeal to voters who deeply admire Mr. Obama but are less enthusiastic about her. From New York Times. She also broadened the issue beyond so-called birtherism, which she called a racist lie, and accused Mr. Trump of having a long record of engaging in racist behavior. She singled out his family's real estate company for being sued by the Justice Department in 1973 for racial discrimination. Mr. Trump did little to rebut her charges of racism. He instead said that he had recently watched some of her debates with Mr. Obama in the 2008 Democratic primary and that she had been quite harsh on her then-rival. "You treated him with terrible disrespect," he said. But Mr. Trump himself repeatedly demeaned Mr. Obama in the debate, at one point telling Mrs. Clinton that he was your president and, at another, mocking Mr. Obama over his penchant for golf. Later, Mrs. Clinton recalled Mr. Trump's stream of insults to women over the years, a determined effort by her to rally female voters to her side. "This is a man who has called women pigs, slobs and dogs, and someone who has said pregnancy is an inconvenience to employers, who has said women don't deserve equal pay unless they do as good a job as men," Mrs. Clinton said. Referring to a beauty pageant contestant, she continued, "He called this woman Miss Piggy. Then he called her Miss Housekeeping, because she was Latina. Donald, she has a name." Mr. Trump did not have a forceful rejoinder, saying that most of his insults had been aimed at the comedian Rosie O'Donnell, with whom he had feuded. "I said very tough things to her, and I think everybody would agree that she deserves it, and nobody feels sorry for her," he said. But Mr. Trump said mysteriously that he had something extremely rough to say about Hillary and her family, then added, "I can't do it. I can't do it." He told CNN afterward that he was proud of holding back on Bill Clinton and his extramarital affairs because the Clintons' daughter, Chelsea, was in the audience. The debate took on a sarcastic quality at times, with more discussion of insults like slobs and immigration or the Affordable Care Act. Mrs. Clinton came off as a classically prepared debater who used Mr. Trump's record and words against him at 19 separate moments, while Mr. Trump seemed to be improvising on stage much of the time. And Mr. Trump was stunningly personal in his attacks, such as questioning Mrs. Clinton's stamina. She fired back, as soon as he travels to 112 countries and negotiates a peace deal, a ceasefire, the release of dissidents, an opening of new opportunities in nations around the world, or even spends 11 hours testifying in front of a congressional committee, he can talk to me about stamina. Mr. Trump also targeted Mrs. Clinton for not taking a sufficiently hard line on crime, chastising her for refusing to say law and order. Blacks and Hispanics, he said, are living in hell because it's so dangerous. He attacked Mrs. Clinton from the right on policing, suggesting that she supported stop and frisk policies but was not saying so for unstated political reasons. But in an attempt to damage her with black voters, he also invoked her use of the word superpredator in the 1990s to describe youthful criminals. "I think it was a terrible thing to say," he said. The debate was like no other in the television era. The first female presidential nominee of a major party facing off against an alpha male businessman with no political experience. Both of them world famous and both of them deeply unpopular, with a potential record-setting audience of 100 million watching and hoping to see their preferred candidate blow the other to smithereens. Mr. Trump hurled so many accusations at Mrs. Clinton, and with such fervor that he frequently had to sip water, that she found herself saying at one point, "I have a feeling that by the end of this evening, I'm going to be blamed for everything that's ever happened." "Why not?" Mr. Trump shot back. "Why not?" "Yeah, why not?" Mrs. Clinton replied. "You know, just join the debate by saying more crazy things." Mrs. Clinton pressed Mr. Trump on his failure to release his tax returns, an issue that polls show is resonating with voters. She suggested that he had not made them public because they would show that you haven't paid any federal income tax for a lot of years. "It would be squandered, too, believe me," he said. At another point, he argued that he was smart to have avoided paying any federal income tax earlier in his career. Mrs. Clinton assailed his economic policies as favoring wealthy Americans, calling them trumped up, trickle down, and then made the first of several attempts to bait Mr. Trump into an overreaction. She said that he had gotten a $14 million loan from his father to start his business and asserted that he really believes the more you help wealthy people, the better off we'll be. Mr. Trump responded simply that it was a very small loan, a sign that he had been prepared to be careful about attacking. Mrs. Clinton also poked at Mr. Trump by saying he believed that climate change was a hoax, prompting him to interject, "I do not say that, I do not say that." The rivals spent the day preparing for their big battle. From CNN, Clinton participated in mock debates with her tar-tongued former aide Philippe Reines playing Trump. In one practice debate, Reines assumed the character of the unpredictable nominee by praising Clinton for her role as a pioneer for women, campaign sources said. Reines even wore the kind of signature red tie that Trump favors and adopted his characteristic hand gestures in a bid to fully prepare Clinton for her unpredictable foe. The Republican nominee has watched videos of Clinton, but his preparation has been less intense than his opponent's. In keeping with his more freewheeling style, he did not hold mock debates, for instance, with someone standing in for Clinton. Watch out.